My beloved brother and sister, if you are seeing this, pause for a moment. Slow down your heart. Take a breath. This is not random. This is not accidental. Out of billions of people, out of countless distractions, you are here listening, reflecting. And that alone should make you think, perhaps Allah wants to talk to me. Allah does not speak to us the way humans speak to one another. He speaks through moments, through feelings, through circumstances, through the Quran, through reminders that arrive at exactly the right time when the heart is ready, sometimes broken, sometimes tired, sometimes searching. How many times have you felt empty even when life seemed full? How many times have you smiled on the outside but cried within? And then suddenly a reminder appears. A verse touches you. A message reaches you. A tear falls without permission. That is not coincidence. That is Allah calling you back to Him. Gently, lovingly, patiently. Allah speaks to us through signs. A closed door that protects you from harm. A delay that saves you from regret. A hardship softens your heart. A blessing that reminds you to be grateful. Sometimes we ask Allah for ease, but He gives us growth. We ask for answers, but He gives us lessons. And later when we look back, we realize He was guiding us all along. My dear brother, my dear sister, Allah does not need you to be perfect to talk to you. He needs you to be sincere. Some people think, I'm too sinful to return. But that thought itself is a trick. Allah speaks to the one who is struggling, not only to the one who is strong. He speaks to the broken heart because a broken heart is closer to humility. No matter how far you think you've gone, you are never far from Allah. One sincere moment, one honest dua, one step toward Him, and He comes running toward you. The doors of repentance are not closed because of your past. They are closed only when life ends. Until then, Allah keeps calling. Sometimes Allah speaks through discomfort, when something doesn't feel right, when the heart feels restless. That restlessness is not punishment, it is mercy. It is your soul longing for its source. The soul does not find peace in possessions, popularity, or praise. It finds peace in remembering Allah. And look at how merciful Allah is. He doesn't embarrass you publicly when you sin. He covers you. He gives you time. He sends reminders quietly. He gives you chances again and again. And when you finally turn back, He does not say, why so late? He says, welcome back. If you are seeing this during a difficult time, know that Allah sees you too. He hears the du'as you whisper when no one else is listening. He knows the pain you hide from the world. And He promises that no tear falls except that He is aware of it. No struggle is wasted when you are patient for His sake. Responding to Allah does not mean your life will suddenly become problem-free. It means your heart will become anchored. Storms may still come, but you will not be lost at sea. You will know where to turn. You will know who to call upon. You will know that Allah is enough. So if you are seeing this, take it as a sign. Reconnect with the Quran. Even if it's one verse, make dua, even if it's just a sentence. Ask Allah for closeness before asking Him for things. Because when Allah is with you, nothing can truly harm you. And when He is absent from the heart, nothing truly satisfies. Every moment of reflection in your life, it is not accidental. When you stop even briefly to think about your life, your choices, your direction, and your relationship with Allah, understand that this pause itself is a gift. In a world that constantly demands speed, noise, and distraction, the ability to reflect is rare. And when Allah allows your heart to slow down and your mind to question, it is often because He is inviting you closer. Reflection is not something we create on our own. It is something Allah places in the heart when the time is right. Many people live years without questioning where they are heading. They wake up, work, eat, sleep, and repeat without ever asking why their hearts feel heavy or why their souls feel restless. But when Allah wants good for someone, He interrupts this routine. He places a thought in their heart that does not leave them easily. A thought about purpose, a thought about prayer, a thought about right and wrong. That thought is an invitation, not a burden. It is Allah gently knocking on the door of the heart, asking to be remembered. Sometimes this invitation comes during silence. Late at night, when the world is asleep and distractions are gone, the heart begins to speak. Regrets surface. Gratitude appears. Tears may fall. In those moments, Allah is closer than you realize. He is giving you a private audience away from the noise of the world so that you can be honest with Him. These moments of reflection are not signs of weakness, they are signs of awareness. A heart that reflects is a heart that is alive. At other times, reflection comes through discomfort. A sudden sadness with no clear reason, a feeling that something is missing despite having so much. This emptiness is not meant to break you, it is meant to redirect you. Allah does not always pull us toward Him with ease. Sometimes He removes comfort so that we begin to search for true peace. And when we search sincerely, we find that peace only lies in remembering Him. Reflection is also Allah's mercy, because it arrives before accountability. Allah allows you to think, reconsider, and turn back while there is still time. He does not rush punishment, He sends reminders. He does not expose your faults. He whispers guidance into your heart. When you feel the urge to improve, to leave a sin, to fix your prayer, or to change your ways, do not ignore it. That urge is not from guilt alone, it is from divine care. Understand this deeply. Allah does not invite everyone to reflect. Some hearts are sealed by arrogance, distraction, or constant sin. But when Allah allows you to question yourself, to feel remorse, or to desire closeness to Him, it means He has not given up on you. In fact, it means He wants you. He wants your return, not your perfection. He wants your sincerity, not your histo. Right. So when reflection visits you, honor it. Do not rush past it. Sit with it. Make dua in that moment. Even a simple conversation with Allah can change the direction of your life. Because that moment of reflection may be the very moment Allah chose to call you back to Him. Quietly, lovingly, and personally. Allah does not speak to us in the way people speak to one another, with audible words and visible expressions. Yet His communication is constant, surrounding us at every moment of our lives. Allah speaks to us through signs, through events, through emotions, and through outcomes that unfold with precision. When we understand this, we begin to see life itself as a conversation between the Creator and the servant. Every blessing carries a message. When Allah grants you ease after hardship, it is a reminder that He is capable of changing your situation in a moment. When He provides you from places you never expected, it is a sign that sustenance is in His hands alone. These moments are Allah speaking to your heart, teaching you reliance, gratitude, and humility. The danger is not in receiving blessings, the danger is in missing the message behind them. Likewise, every difficulty speaks. When doors close despite your effort, Allah may be protecting you from harm you cannot see. When plans fall apart, it is not always failure. Sometimes it is divine redirection. Allah knows the unseen future, and His wisdom is far greater than our limited understanding. What feels like loss today may be mercy tomorrow. When you look back at your life, you often realize that some of the things you once cried over were actually the things that saved you. Allah also speaks through people. A reminder you hear at the right moment, advice that touches your heart unexpectedly, a verse or hadith that feels as though it was revealed just for you. These are not coincidences. Allah uses His creation to deliver guidance to those who are willing to listen. That is why certain words affect why deeply, while others pass by unnoticed. The heart that is open recognizes the message. Sometimes Allah speaks through inner feelings, a sudden discomfort about a certain path, a heaviness when engaging in something that displeases Him, a sense of peace when doing what is right, even if it is difficult. These are signs placed within the heart as a form of guidance. The soul recognizes truth before the mind justifies it. Ignoring these feelings repeatedly can harden the heart, making it harder to recognize Allah's messages later. Allah also speaks through time, delays that test patience, waiting that strengthens trust. Not everything is meant to happen when you want it. Timing is one of Allah's most powerful forms of communication. When He delays something you desire, it may be because why? You are not ready, or because what you desire is not good for you at that moment. Trusting Allah's timing is part of understanding His language. Most importantly, Allah speaks through the Quran. It is not a book meant only to be recited with the tongue, but to be absorbed by the heart. When a verse resonates with you, it is Allah addressing you directly. The Quran meets you where you are. That's that me verse can speak differently to you at different stages of your life, because Allah knows what your heart needs at that moment. When you begin to see life through this lens, nothing feels meaningless anymore. Every experience becomes a sign, every moment a lesson. Allah is always speaking. The question is not whether He is communicating, but whether we are listening with hearts that are humble and attentive. Delays, hardships, and blessings are not separate from one another. They are all part of how Allah communicates with us and nurtures our faith. Often we assume that blessings mean Allah is pleased with us, and that hardship means we are being punished. But this understanding is shallow and incomplete. In reality, Allah uses every situation, ease and difficulty alike, to draw us closer to Him and to shape our hearts in ways we may not immediately understand. A delay is one of the most powerful messages Allah sends. You make dua again and again, yet nothing seems to change. Time passes, patience wears thin, and questions begin to form in your heart. But a delay does not mean rejection. Sometimes Allah delays because He wants you to keep knocking on His door, to keep calling upon Him, to build a relationship that goes beyond asking for outcomes. Through delay, Allah teaches you reliance, humility, and persistence. He shifts your focus from the gift to the giver. Hardship too carries a message. When life becomes heavy and the heart feels burdened, it is often because Allah wants to lighten you by bringing you closer to Him. Hardship strips away false reliance on payo, plea, on wealth, on plans, and exposes the truth that only Allah remains when everything else falls apart. Pain softens the heart in ways comfort never can. It creates space for sincerity, for honest dua, for tears that wash away arrogance and negligence. Many people turn to Allah more sincerely in moments of hardship than they ever did in times of ease. That is not a flaw, it is part of human nature. And Allah in His mercy uses this nature to guide us. He allows difficulty not to break us, but to awaken us. If hardship brings you closer to prayer, closer to the Quran, and closer to remembrance, then that hardship is a hidden blessing, even if it does not feel like one. Blessings, on the other hand, are also a test. Ease can either elevate a person or distract them completely. When Allah grants you health, wealth, stability, or happiness, He is asking a silent question: will you remember me or will you forget? Gratitude is not just words, it is how you live. A blessing becomes a message when it pushes you to humility, generosity, and obedience. But when it leads to arrogance and heedlessness, it becomes a trial in disguise. Sometimes Allah gives you what you ask for, not because it is best for you, but because you insisted. And sometimes He withholds what you desperately want because it would harm your faith or your future. What you see is the present moment. What Allah sees is the entire journey. That is why His decisions may confuse you now, but bring clarity later. When you reflect on your life honestly, you begin to see the pattern, the delay that protected you, the hardship that redirected you, the blessing that reminded you of Allah's kindness. None of it was random. None of it was wasted. Allah was guiding you through every phase, speaking to you through every experience, inviting you to trust Him even when you did not understand. One of the greatest misunderstandings people have is the belief that they must become perfect before they can turn back to A. This thought quietly pushes many hearts away from repentance, making them feel unworthy, ashamed, or too broken to return. But Allah never asked for perfection. He asked for sincerity. He asked for a heart that recognizes its weakness and turns back to Him honestly, even if it stumbles again and again. Sincerity begins with acknowledging the truth about yourself. It means admitting your mistakes without justifying them, and recognizing your need for Allah without pride. When a person is sincere, they stop pretending in front of their Creator. They speak openly, even awkwardly, even with tears and broken words. Allah does not measure the beauty of your sentences in dua. He measures the honesty of your heart. Perfection creates distance, but sincerity creates connection. The one who waits to be flawless before returning to Allah may never return at all. But the one who comes with a heavy heart, aware of their flaws, is already closer than they think. Allah loves the servant who knows they need Him. In fact, feeling the weight of your shortcomings is often a sign that your faith is still alive. Many Opal are trapped by their past. They replay their sins and mistakes until they believe those moments define them forever. But Allah does not see you the way you see yourself. He sees who you can become. He sees your repentance before you even make it. That is why the door of repentance remains open no matter how many times a person falls. Allah's mercy is not exhausted by repeated mistakes. It is exhausted only by arrogance and despair. True repentance is not about never slipping again. It is about never giving up on Allah. A sincere heart may fall, but it will always get back up. It will always feel regret. It will always turn back, even if the journey is messy. Allah values the struggle. He values the effort, the tears, the internal battles no one else sees. Sometimes people delay turning back because they fear judgment from others or even from themselves. But repentance is a private conversation between you and Allah. You do not need to announce it. You do not need to prove it. You simply need to mean it. Allah already knows your past, yet He still invites you to return. That invitation alone should be enough to silence every excuse. Understand this deeply. Allah is not waiting to punish you for approaching Him imperfectly. He is waiting to embrace you for approaching Him sincerely. Every step toward Him, no matter how small, is met with mercy. Every tear shed out of regret is honored. Every sincere intention to change is recorded. When you stop chasing perfection and start chasing closeness to Allah, everything changes. Your heart softens. Your dua becomes real. Your relationship with Allah becomes personal. And in that sincerity, Allah places barakah, healing and strength, far greater than anything perfection could ever give you. When Allah calls a person, that call is not loud, dramatic or forceful. It is gentle, subtle and deeply personal. It may come as a thought that lingers, a reminder that touches the heart, or a feeling that something needs to change. Many people feel this call, but not everyone responds. And the difference between those who respond and those who don't is not intelligence or strength. It is willingness. Responding to Allah's call is what transforms a life from the inside out. The moment you choose to respond, even imperfectly, your direction begins to change. You may not see immediate results, but something shifts within the heart. There is a sense of purpose, a clarity that was previously missing. Life does not suddenly become free of problems, but problems no longer feel meaningless. You begin to understand that every challenge is part of a greater plan, and that Allah is guiding you through it rather than leaving you to face it alone. Responding to Allah does not require dramatic actions. Sometimes it begins with something small, fixing one prayer, leaving one harmful habit, making one sincere dua, or opening the Quran after a long time. These small steps may seem insignificant, but in the sight of Allah, they are powerful. What matters is not how big the step is, but the direction in which it is taken. One step toward Allah outweighs years of running away. When you respond to Allah, He responds in ways you could never imagine. He places peace in your heart before changing your circumstances. He gives you strength before giving you ease. He opens doors within you before opening doors around you. Many people wait for life to improve before they turn back to Allah, but those who respond first often find that improvement begins with the heart. Responding also requires patience. Change does not happen overnight. There will be moments of weakness, moments of doubt, and moments where old habits try to pull you back. But when Allah sees sincerity, He provides support. He places the right people in your life, removes harmful influences, and creates opportunities for growth. You may not recognize His help immediately, but it is always there. Ignoring Allah's call, on the other hand, hardens the heart over time. The reminders stop affecting you. The discomfort fades, not because things are better, but because the heart has grown numb. That numbness is more dangerous than hardship, because hardship pushes you to Allah, while numbness pulls you away from Him without you realizing it. Responding to Allah is not about becoming someone else. It is about becoming who you were always meant to be. Your soul finds alignment. Your priorities shift. Your life gains depth. And even in pain, there is meaning. Even in loss, there is trust. When Allah calls you and you respond, you begin a journey that reshapes your heart, your choices, and your future. It is not an easy path, but it is a purposeful one. And the greatest transformation is not what changes around you. It is what Allah changes within you. If there is one message to take from all of this, it is that your presence here is not accidental. Allah does not place reminders in your path without purpose, and He does not awaken hearts without mercy. Every moment of reflection, every sign you noticed, every feeling that stirred your heart, part of a conversation Allah chose to have with you, personally and lovingly. Allah has been speaking to you through ease and hardship, through delays and blessings, through silence and restlessness. He has been calling you not to burden you, but to bring you peace, not to demand perfection, but to invite sincerity. No matter where you are in life right now, the door is open, the call is gentle, and the return is always welcomed. You do not need to fix everything at once. You only need to take one honest step toward Allah, a sincere dua, a single prayer, a quiet decision to try again. And when you do, trust that Allah will meet you with mercy greater than your mistakes and guidance stronger than your fears. If you are seeing this, let it be the moment you respond. Not because you are perfect, but because Allah is most merciful. Not because life is easy, but because Allah is enough. And know this with certainty. A heart that turns to Allah is never lost, and a life connected to Him is never empty. Goodbye, everyone.